The Martian is directed by Ridley Scott and stars Matt Damon as Mark Watney, a botanist who is part of a research team on Mars and who, after a particularly vicious storm, is presumed dead and is inadvertently left alone on the red planet and has to survive long enough for any kind of rescue attempt to be made. And given that this is Mars, this isn't something that can be done in a couple of days, more like a couple of years. Now, this film had struck a soft spot for me from the off. I love survival stories and survival films like this sort of Robinson Crusoe type story. I've always loved stories of mankind's struggle to survive against his environment. I've always loved that sort of thing. And this is exactly that. It's just you happen to be a few hundred millions of miles away. Though this, from what I understand from sort of seeing articles online, etc., the science involved apparently is quite realistic, especially given it's a Hollywood film. But even from a layman's point of view, it did seem realistic. The things he was doing seemed rational, seemed sensible, and just watching we going like, yeah, I could. That seems like a normal, sensible thing to do in that situation. The fact that we are Mars is beautifully realised. This is Ridley Scott's first venture into space since, I think, for me and a lot of people, the somewhat disappointing Prometheus. And this time, he's kind of cracked it. I think this time he pretty much nailed it. Mars itself looks spectacular, really does. And I thoroughly enjoy being there for the whole film. It has to be said as well, this is Matt Damon's film. He really does excel as one man on his own trying to survive against all odds. He's very ably supported by a very strong cast. Jessica Chastain, Jeff Daniels, Sean Bean, Kristen Wiig, everyone is excellent in it, but it's entirely Matt Damon's film. Now, given that this is a story of survival, the struggle to survive, I did think they could have gone a bit deeper with it, in that Mark Watney is alone, apart from a bit of communication he can have with NASA, he is alone, struggling for a very long time. And they really don't go into what that would do to the human psyche. I mean, he would mentally, emotionally deteriorate. And it's really not explored at all. I think we literally see him get angry twice, maybe twice. And one of those times is totally played for laughs. It just seemed like an opportunity missed. In an otherwise really good film, that was one opportunity that seemed sorely missed. The fact that we don't investigate that at all. You don't see the fact that he really, obviously, he keeps busy surviving the whole way through, but you never really see him breaking down or see him genuinely. You get depression. You doubt yourself whether you could survive, whether you're going to die, and we never see it happen. Which it just seemed odd. I know it's a 12A, but you would think it would go a little bit darker on occasion, and not just his only moments of strife essentially be played for laughs. That seemed weird. But other than that, I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is certainly one of the better films, space films as it were, that I've seen in the last couple of years, last 2 or 3 years, I would say. It is basically a survival film that happens to be in space, literally, and that may be one of the main reasons I like it, because I like survival films. But the fact that it is in space gives us lots of excuses, lots of spectacular scenery. And I did like the fact that they do explore the fact that he's the first human being to do everything on that planet. I thought that was quite nicely explored. So we have a spectacular environment. We have a great performance from Matt Damon. And apart from the little bit of a missed opportunity in terms of going deeper into his psyche, we have a great